Hey, good morning, everybody. How are you? My name is Samantha, and I'm from E.P.I.C, TriCountyCT. E.P.I.C is an analogy or an abbreviation for Empowering People, Inspiring Community. So, welcome to our E.P.I.C interviews that we host weekdays, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. So, if you're on and available, join us live. Show us you're here in the chat. We have Lisa of E.P.I.C TriCountyCT working from Cheshire running the chat. So tell us hi, say hi, tell us how you're feeling today. We want to know. We're here for you. Epic is a conscious living magazine that is published bi-monthly. And in light of this current situation that we're all walking through together, we decided to bring you some tips and interviews from conscious business owners throughout Connecticut. Today, before I bring her in, I want to tell you we're going to talk with Julie Bailis from Mountain View Wellness. So that's going to be exciting. We're going to talk about her facility in Hamden, her gifts that she brings, and she's going to share some tools on how to help us all get through this current situation. Before we start that, and I bring Julie in, I just want to send highest vibration of love and light out to each one of you and your families as we navigate through this time. And the word that kept coming up today for me and Lisa is fortitude. You know, the ability to have that strength and courage, ingenuity and flexibility during this time of change and adversity, everything. You know, businesses are changing, families are changing, and that's okay. We'll get through it together. We can do it. And that is why I'm here. And I'm going to be bringing in our guest, Julie. So let me do that. And here's Julie. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Good. We're glad to have you here. Definitely, definitely. So you are the owner and instructor and creator of Mountain View Wellness in Hamden.
Mm-hmm.
I've had the pleasure of being at your facility, and it's absolutely gorgeous. As soon as I walked in, there was a connection energetically, even besides the fact that you're a fellow reflexologist. So,
Woo!
yay, we're talking today. Our nails are growing. That's not
What's going on?
reflexologist.
It's madness.
Yeah. So, can you tell us a bit about Mountain View and yourself? Let us hear about you.
Sure. So Mountain View was a wellness center. We offer yoga classes, qigong classes, meditation classes, a lot of different regular weekly classes. They're online right now. So we have a virtual studio happening. And we've hosted events too. I am a reflexologist. Like you said, Samantha, we have 3 treatment rooms in the space. So I practice reflexology from one of those rooms. And I'm also a yoga and meditation teacher. So wellness, balance, mindfulness, awareness, they all come together at Mountain View. And we're open to things beyond yoga and qigong. Really, I when I first started the business, I didn't want to call it Mountain View Yoga because it's a little limiting, right? So I added wellness there because I really like the idea of having an all-encompassing umbrella for whatever wellness is to you, because a lot of people are seeking it.
Right. And it's constantly evolving.
Yeah, it is.
Constantly evolving, which is a beautiful thing that you've encompassed that scope and it's continually growing and expanding. There's a few things that you had mentioned and I had seen through your advertising with Epic and also in the information that we talked about earlier. Can you tell us a little bit? Julie hosts a clothing swap in Hamden, and I just thought that was the most beautiful display of sustainability and community outreach. Can you tell us a little bit about that clothing swap?
Sure. I believe the first one we hosted was last year. No, I think it was fall 2018. We've hosted at least 2. A woman named Nicole Boehner does a lot with sustainability and clothing. And I think she was doing a textile recycling drive in the driveway of Mountain View. And we just got to talking about the idea of a clothing swap and how, well, she really made it clear to me about how much waste is created through our clothing. Our clothing now is poorly made and it's pretty much disposable. You wear it, a few times and then you donate it. And where that goes is essentially in a landfill. Yeah. If not, if it's not reused or consigned or anything like that. So we came up with this idea of having the clothing swap, and it was lovely. And people do clothing swaps at their own homes all the time, but we really wanted kind of to replicate a high-end consignment shop. So people were encouraged to bring 5 to 10 articles of clothing. It could be anything. And we set up the shop, which was the yoga studio. And but of course, in Mountain View style, we sat and we talked about, what your perfect closet might look like, what's in it right now, and how do you feel when you look at it, and what's stopping you from achieving that, and a lot of amazing things came up. We didn't just swap clothes. It was funny because then we had a meditation and we learned about environmental waste and fast fashion. So there was, education too. So we got all mushy, touchy-feely stuff, and people, it was beautiful. I mean, one woman said that, she was keeping her clothes in her closet because she really wanted to lose weight. And I, jokingly say, I love it when people cry at our space, because it's a safe space to do those kind of things. And a lot of people related to her, Yeah. So it was so much more than a clothing swap. It was community building. It was people being vulnerable about how they felt, how they looked in their closet, and how it reflected how they felt about themselves. Right. And of course, we ended with, asking yourself, really, what do you want to feel?
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Am I correct in saying that after the clothing swap was done at Mountain View, did you take the clothes to donate them somewhere?
We did. The first year we took it to St. Peter's Church in Cheshire, because they were having a sale, and all the proceeds of that sale would go to their outreach services, because a couple of our members are members of that church. And then the second year, it didn't coincide with their sale, so we donated to the Umbrella of Domestic Services out in the Valley, their thrift shop, and all of their proceeds. Yeah, of my sister's closet, right? Yes, they were lovely, and I think it was Deb Anastasio told me about them, and I went, and they were just, it's a wonderful, place to go. It's a wonderful place to support, and a lot of our members were really happy that the leftovers were going to a great place too.
Well, a lot of women probably received beautiful clothing, and which helped them to, shine a little brighter. So thank you for hosting that. And what a great idea. We can really all do that from our home, from our churches, from our businesses. So thank you for spearheading that effort. Which brings me to, you had mentioned 3 key words for Mountain View. And I think what a beautiful segue from the clothing swap to your 3 key words.
Right. So of course, we have a mission statement, and you can find it on our website, www.mvwct.com, Mountain View Wellness. And, it's like, oh, it's really great to have a mission statement. Whenever I'm feeling misaligned, I go back to the mission statement and try to discover what's going on there. But then I realized that we could break it down to 3 key words, and it was care, community, and connection. And the care comes from when you walk through the doors of Mountain View, or when you sign up for your virtual membership and you attend a class or you watch a video, you are taking steps to take care of yourself. Yeah. It's not just talk.
Nope.
You're actually doing it.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful. You can't expect other people to take care of you. You've got to start with yourself. And so many of us are taking care of so many other people that we come last. So, to really be aware that you're actually taking care of yourself. So care's there, self-care. Community is, we're just more than a wellness center. We do things within our own community to come together. I jokingly say you can't come to class anonymously, although in the virtual you kind of can. I know your name, but everyone knows everybody else's name. I've been to classes before where there are a lot of people and you go in and you don't know the teacher, they don't know your name, and you're in and out. And I just didn't like that feeling. Some people prefer that. I don't. So you connect with each other in classes and even on our online social media platforms. And the connection happens when the community happens.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And what I envisioned is a beautiful tapestry and that thread of the 3 C's woven throughout every event, every training, every yoga session, qigong, reflexology, just a beautiful tapestry that you've created for your community, our community. Thank you for being a supporter of E.P.I.C. Our missions go hand in hand, collaborating and raising each other up. Now, you had mentioned virtual happenings going on with Mountain View in light of this time, but also I see this, all this virtual stuff happening now, carrying forward into our future also. Can you tell me a little bit about what you're offering and how that's all working out for you?
Sure. It was a scramble. We closed on a Friday and I opened up on a Wednesday, the virtual memberships. I actually probably offered it and people bought them before we had anything on the docket. So thank you all, many of you, for doing that. But now we actually have offerings. So when you become a virtual member, you have access to our classes. We have at least 1 to 2 a day, except no classes on Sundays. They're live streaming through Zoom. You can be seen or not, which is interesting. We're actually going to be adding some shorter classes too. Most of the classes are an hour, but getting feedback from others, they like the shorter classes. So you have access to do live classes with a real teacher. You also have full access to the video library, which is growing, which has actually been really fun for me. I enjoy making the longer videos of longer classes and then the shorter ones too. Like I had a student ask for desk stretches, short videos to do while, he's on his lunch break, but his back is hurting him or neck or whatever. So
right. I think that I know for me and probably many of us working from home, sitting behind the computer, a lot of us don't have a regular setup.
Right.
So we've done makeshift, grabbing a folding chair, grabbing a desk, a table, whatever it is. So, feeling those different twinges throughout the week, offering those stretches and the tools that you just mentioned will help, people drive through this, to navigate through it.
Right.
Which is awesome. And we're going to be posting in the live feed. Lisa's doing it, like I said, your website address and contact information. People will be able to view it later also. Now, we've talked a little bit about the present challenges that we're all feeling during this COVID-19 time in our universe here. Can you tell me share with us maybe some present challenges you felt, your self-care practice, and share with us some tools that you're using personally?
Right. When I had to make the switch to the virtual studio, the first thing I did was add it was then daily. It was every single day. Now it's Monday to Friday, a morning meditation. And that meditation has now turned into mental health mornings, 7:30 to 8. People just show up, and we at first started, I have something prepared, but now it's evolved into a group of mainly women who just want to start off the morning with positivity. And having that thing to wake up to has been a lifesaver for me and for many of our members, because otherwise it would be easy for them to lay in bed with their phones on Facebook.
Yeah. I found myself that with the Epic interviews,
Yeah.
it's something every day that I look forward to. It's that connection.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting up, doing the shower, doing the routine,
Yeah.
the meditation, the prayer. Lisa and I get together mostly every morning, talk about how we want to see our day unfold as a company, as as a brand, Epic, but also personally, we pull a card. So establishing a daily routine, I think, is so key. And what you explained, that's great that you're offering that for people also.
Right. We're offering like the 9 o'clock class and the 4:30 classes. We're trying to get that more regular for those people that, say, I need to be here for the 9 o'clock class or the 4:30 class. So there's something to shoot for,
Right now, you had mentioned intention. Can you explain that, how you're using that to navigate through this?
Yeah. I had just finished a yoga teacher training with a woman named Sadie Nardini. And this is like really physical, hard yoga, not my typical. I was like a hard yogi, and then I got into meditation, and my yin style is very chill. Then I started doing this, and it's an online class. And I was surprised at one of the pieces of homework we had to spend 1 week, and every day we had to spend an hour a day on self-care. And then she paused, and then she said, notice how that feels in your body right now. And I was like, hell no, I'm really busy. I can't do any of that. And then she said, think about your awareness and your intention. She said, you take a shower probably pretty much every day. And I was like, yeah, I don't do the hair every day, but and she said that counts as self-care. Maybe you have a coffee. That could be self-care. Maybe you go for a walk. That counts. And I was like, wow. Because oftentimes when we talk about self-care, we're like, ooh, a spa trip or a massage or something luxurious. She said, take things you do every day and make that an intentional act of self-care. And it shifted things so magically. Like that next day, the morning I woke up, I was like, okay, I'm brushing my teeth. This is part of my self-care. And it just has a different kind of energetic vibe to it. When you do something that you do normally, probably mindlessly, but you proclaim it as an act of self-care, it just shifts. It shifts everything. And then I was able to, squeeze in the hour, but I've taken that lesson into our lives now, where, making dinner for my family, which I had not really been able to do because I was running around taking care of the studio, and really saying that's my time to really tune in to myself and to making this food and being really aware and being mindful and proclaiming that, like, hey, this is my self-care time. And then all of a sudden the day is filling up with these ways that I'm taking care of myself. So.
Right. I can feel that. Thank you.
Yeah.
So just making a nice hot cup of tea, that falls into the self-care.
Absolutely.
Right. Going for a walk, reading a book. It's not necessarily going up and, meditating for an hour, unless, each individual has different needs and likes. But for this time when we're all trying to work throughout the day and navigate, that tip right there is going to help me a lot.
Yeah.
Because, when you don't cut out that block of time that you intend to, and then it doesn't happen, for me, I tend to beat myself up over it. Like, oh, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. But with the tips that you just gave us, it's going to be a little bit easier to honor that self-care and to kind of congratulate myself, I guess.
I think oftentimes you see a lot, especially on social media, now you can do this, and now you have this time to do this, or learn a skill, or play the banjo, or whatever. And you set this list with so long, and you've done none of it, and then you're like, I just feel terrible, right?
Closet's maybe this isn't done.
Right. And all these things that aren't done. So, and I actually had a friend of mine talk about lists, and she said, once I do something, I'm going to put it on the list. Did this. It's like your done list, not like you have to do, but this is
Oh,
what I
yeah.
did. Like,
Ooh, I like that. The done list.
yeah,
That's
a
cool.
done list. And then, write down, have that cup of tea,
Right,
brush
right.
my teeth, check, whatever it is. I mean, you got to have more of a positive spin on some things,
That's perfect.
Mm.
So as we segue in, what advice and information do you want to share with our listeners that you can expand upon a little bit? You've been so helpful so far.
Mm.
Filling our toolboxes, Miss Julie.
Yeah, I really think I really want to hit home that idea of routine.
Yeah.
The routine helps, and delineating for me, even because I have kids at home, the weekend, or else the days are just going to roll in. I say mark time in a really positive way. Like we started making pizzas on the weekend, and the kids love it. But they also need to know that not every day is a weekend.
Yeah.
During the week, you have your things to do. During the weekends, they're a little more special. I have the 7:30 group that I meet with during the week, but I said I don't want to do that on the weekends because I need to separate the weekends from the week. And on those 7:30 mornings, I can go, walk the dog or do whatever. And then I'll see everybody, on Monday. And that's really nice. So, I mean, I just have to say routine, of course, with some flexibility, but
Right.
and getting outside. I mean, a lot of people are doing that these days.
Right. Eating well. You had mentioned cooking, eating
Sure.
well,
Mm-hmm.
exercise,
Mm-hmm.
and projects. You mentioned projects early in our conversation. I love to kind of bring everything to a close with just an off the chart, just a random question. What project are you working on right now, personally, not with Mountain View, but for you? What does that look like?
Well, today, and I've been talking about this for a week, but I'm doing it because my daughter is 12, and I'll just say, hey, how about you do? We have a rabbit, and he goes in the front garden. I said to Shane, I said, why don't you make a sign that says Kevin's Garden? And within 2 hours, she had the sign all done, and I was like, actually, I wanted to make that sign. You know what I mean? Like, I really want to create some piece of art. So, and I love collages. So that's on the docket today, is
So
to be creative. And I feel it bubbling up. Like I need to have that creative space because I'm still working,
Yeah. Right.
as much as I love it and switching, just doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff. But that's a great question. What's my yummy project for something? Definitely. There's paint involved. There's collage, maybe a Mod Podge thing. Yeah, that's what's going on.
I love Mod Podge. And it's funny because I wasn't intending on, I didn't have that plan to ask that question. Mm-hmm. But last night, I was telling Lisa last night, I needed to get creative. I needed that outlet. So I literally took a couple pieces of cardboard, larger cardboard, and I covered them using all kinds of scrapbooking paper and
love it.
tape and that. And I made myself a bulletin board.
Good for you. Yeah.
Board. And instead of the common thumbtacks, I went upstairs. I had an old box of costume jewelry. And I took all the big gaudy earrings and I'm using them. Yeah, I'll post a picture later.
Definitely.
So getting those creative juices flowing, I think, are huge. It's huge right now for everybody. Yeah. Whether you think you're an artist or not, it doesn't matter. You simply create, express, and release through that. So thank you for sharing that. Thank you for being authentic and real and present with us. Thank you for everything that you do through Mountain View also, from the community to the self-care to the collaboration. Really, we honor you. And, as I say to everybody, together we can, together we can, we can get through this. We can not only survive, we're going to thrive. We're going to come out as a closer closer, more conscious minded group and community. And we're
Definitely.
very, very grateful that you're part of it with us.
Thank you.
Okay, so everybody, I'm going to bring it to a close. I want to thank you again. Thank everybody out there. Thank Lisa, who's running the sidelines, and Lori from Rubber Soul, who's always supporting us.
Oh.
All the businesses and readers and watchers and family. Be safe,
Mhm.
be you, be healthy.
Mhm.
And until tomorrow, peace out, Epic Scouts. Namaste.
Bye.
Bye.